Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Night Brothers Commentary. Today, we're actually going to be taking a break from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and going to be focusing more on a series that we started in April of last year and just never really got back around to. And that series would be public transportation. I mean, this is something that's kind of been near and dear to my heart for a while, so I just felt like, let's just bring it up now, you know? For me, at least, public transportation is kind of something that I think really, really needs to be improved upon in this country just because deep down, I feel like our infrastructure is just terrible. And I think if we had more decent public transportation throughout the entire country, we would have a lot less people on the roads just because having cars would just not be as necessary in this country as it is in others. At least those are just my personal observations that I've seen. I think we just need to have a better balance with regards to modes of transportation in this country. And I think increasing, shall we say, benefits of using public transportation will help achieve that balance. Because I just think overall with regards to the road construction that we've had a lot over the past couple of years, especially here in the Indianapolis area and also just the state of Indiana in general where I live. But overall, I just feel like if we could have more viable alternatives to road construction, I think it just makes the whole system work a lot better than it's currently doing. So without further ado, let's get started. So for me, one of the first things I kind of want to propose is a new program called the National Corporate Transit Partner Program, or NCTPP. And for me, this is like a benefit program that essentially kind of redoes federal payroll taxes, where essentially we're essentially lowering the taxes for both Medicare and Social Security and adding a new one for public transportation, which roughly translates to about 1.4%. Or, as part of this program, what companies can do is instead of paying that 1.4% tax, they can essentially provide their employees money to buy a membership pass. So those are really the two options under this little program that I think could help raise more money for improving our public infrastructure. But in addition to that, I also would allow companies that are participating in this program, which is essentially most companies really, to get naming and or sponsorship rights to any airport, train station, bus station, or railroad similar to sponsor a highway, or what we do with public sports arenas, if you will. So, I mean, I don't know. I just figure, like, if we can do these things for highways and really just other kinds of buildings in general, I see no reason why we can't do this for public transportation hubs. So, kind of moving on, I would say one of the next things I really want to talk about, and I think something that could really help alleviate our highway system by increasing incentives for public transportation use, is essentially reduced fares or ticket prices. So I want to propose that we kind of expand the groups that can get reduced fares. So essentially for people that are in large groups of at least 20 plus, so like business trips, high school athletic teams, seniors that are at least the age of 62 and above, current members of the U.S. Armed Forces, state defense forces, as well as law enforcement or other civilian government employees, people with physical and mental disabilities, customers who possess a Medicare or Medicaid ID, as well as just children ages 5 to 17. And the reason why I say that is because if we can increase the incentive for use of public transportation, we can just alleviate the congestion and other highway issues essentially that we've been having these past couple of years, or probably even longer, honestly. But I personally just feel like our transportation system is fundamentally broken. I mean, this is a point that I'm probably just going to keep re-emphasizing as this video goes on, but I really do believe that our public transportation system is effectively broken, and I think we need to do more to really kind of increase participation with public transportation, if you will. So I guess one of the major things I really wanted to talk about would be, I guess, introducing really a whole bunch of membership passes that will allow unlimited use of public transportation for a certain fee. And the first one I kind of want to talk about would be a scholastic or university academic pass. I mean, and to be fair, I mean, a lot of cities actually do currently use these kinds of programs. So I'm not saying these things don't necessarily have. I'm not saying that this is completely new. I'm just kind of trying to expand on it, essentially, if you will. So for me, anyone who is eligible for this academic pass would be all students and faculty within any U.S. or Canadian institution within 24 kilometers or 15 miles of any train or bus station that's being served by the U.S. government or private companies that are working with the U.S. government. And for both scholastic and college students, the price would be around $132. The price being $200 for faculty and other staff. And the reason why is because for the students, this pass would only last throughout the entire academic year, whereas for faculty and staff, this pass would last for the entire calendar year. But essentially, anyone under this plan could use any train, any bus, any water service that they have available. So, I mean, you could literally use this pass as well as other kinds of passes that I'm going to talk about later for intrastate travel, which is like, say if you live in Indiana, like if you want to go to Bloomington to Indianapolis, you can do that with this pass. Or if you want to go to, or like, let's say you want to go, let's say you're living in IUPUI and you want to go downtown for a Pacers game, you can use this pass to do that as well. Or if you're a college student or a faculty member of any major academic institution, you can essentially also use this for interstate travel, like saying going from Cincinnati to Indianapolis or vice versa. If you want to go to a sporting event or something like that, you can do that too. Now, I think the major pass that I think will hopefully really kind of get a lot of people's attention and hopefully will be used would be the National Public Transportation Membership Pass, or the NPT-MP. And this pass for me would be about $1,100 a year, but for a business plan, you could actually, it would actually be a different price range for each person, depending on the size of the company. So there has to be at least a number of people that are being enrolled in this plan in order to achieve the benefits I talked about earlier. So for large companies, that would be 250, medium-sized companies would be 125, and small businesses would be around at least half of the employees. And it can be any combination of coach, business class, or any other class that they want. So, but this plan could also be used for families as well. So yeah, the price for a family plan will basically be like around $350 for each member not eligible for reduced fares, while it would be around $175 for family members who are eligible to receive reduced fares. And this can only include like your immediate family, like parents, grandparents, siblings, spouses, children, grandchildren, etc. And also like stepchildren, step-grandparents, step-siblings, etc. Those will all count as well. And if you want to add like a business or like a business class seat, that would be like an extra $25 per person. Or if you want to add like a bedroom or something, that would be at least $35 to $45 per person. And the reason why I'm introducing these passes again is because I really just want to reemphasize how broken I think our system is. And I think that if we introduce these passes, I think there would be a lot more use of public transportation and a lot less reliance on just using your own personal vehicle, if you will. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that we should all be using public transportation, because I don't necessarily think that's good either. I mean, if anything, it really just kind of swings the pendulum all the way in the opposite direction, and it just places too much stress on that. So I think we need to have like a nice happy medium between people who are using personal vehicles and want to do so, while also having people who want to use public transportation. So really, what I'm saying is that there really needs to be like a happy medium between public transportation use and private transportation use. And the more that we use public transportation, the more I think our country will swing across to a nice happy medium on the pendulum swing. And if we do that, then hopefully we can have a more efficient system than what we currently do now. That's like the main point I'm trying to get at. Hopefully this video has given you something to think about, and if it has, great. And if it doesn't and you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. I really want to know, you know? The reason why me and Brad do this channel is because we want to start a healthy dialogue. I mean, both of us are really kind of tired of all the toxic infighting that's been going on. And we need something where we need to have a dialogue where neither side is just automatically blamed as evil or dark or anything like that. We want to have something where you feel like I'm wrong. I mean, you can leave comments down below and say, hey, I think you're wrong and this is why. That is fine. This channel is all about growth. It's all about finding enlightenment. I mean, we're trying to create a nice, healthy dialogue where people don't feel like they're just automatically evil just because of certain belief systems that they have. We're trying to be fair. We're trying to be honest. We're trying to do something where people can actually feel like they can start making a difference instead of just being overwhelmingly stressed out by what they see going on in the news and whatnot. We're trying to be like a nice, moderate, healthy dialogue. We're trying to create that nice, moderate, healthy dialogue. So please let me know in the comments what you think. And until next time, seek inspiration and find enlightenment.